Hey, what's up? This is Javier again, coming back at you now. We talked about how we respond to challenging situations and circumstances. Once we've mastered our respond ability, the second thing we need to do is start working on adaptability, how we adapt to the circumstances and situations that we find ourselves in. And the first thing we need to do is stop, pause, reflect, and consider all of our options. That's having an imagination. Understand, you should be doing some exercises to strengthen your imagination, because when you have a great imagination, your imagination is really just all about having ideas in your head, and ideas are options. The stronger your imagination is, the more ideas you have in your head. The more ideas you have in your head, the more options you have in your head in terms of how you respond to challenging circumstances and situations. So take time to pause and reflect and consider all your options and opportunities on how to deal with that circumstance and situation you find yourself in. Now, here's the thing. People ask me about my tattoos all the time. You know, I got a tattoo of my son's name right here that's in a maze. It's kind of dope. I got this tattoo of my daughter named Issa right there. See it? I-S-A. Those are cool. I love those tattoos, but I got this one tattoo right here that a lot of times people overlook, and it says MTG. That's kind of my mantra, my mindset. MTG stands for Make This Great. And that's how I go into every circumstance, whoever I'm with, whatever's happening, wherever I'm at. I try to have a make this great mentality. Even if it's a challenging circumstance, even if it's a difficult situation, I try to pause and reflect and consider how I can make this situation great, or at least learn and grow from it. So there are 5 questions that you can ask yourself that can kind of put you in that make this great mindset, where you're adapting to the situation instead of crumbling underneath it, right? So the number one question you can ask yourself is really, what is happening right now? The same way your imagination can help you think of great ideas on how to respond, our imaginations can get the worst of us too. A lot of times we tend to, if we're not careful, we can blow things out of proportion and start seeing things or feeling things that are kind of disproportionate to the actual experience that's happening. And so we really have to stop and reflect and ask ourselves, what is actually happening right now? What are the facts, right? Number 2, what about this circumstance, this situation is really challenging me? What is hard about it? What is difficult? What's frustrating? What's making me angry? What's making me sad? What's making me stressed out? What is it about the circumstance and situation that is actually a challenge to you? Get it down to, narrow it down to those specific details of the circumstance that are challenging to you. Now, then you can ask yourself, once you've identified what's challenging you, you ask yourself, now, as a result of this challenge, what can I be learning? Is there something I can learn from this experience? Is there, as a result of this challenge, how can I be growing right now? How can I learn and grow as a result of this experience, right? And not just saying, that it doesn't have to be a miserable experience. Yes, it can be tough. Yes, it can suck, but there is always an opportunity for you to learn something and to grow from every circumstance and situation we find ourselves in. And then the last question we ask ourselves is, what am I thankful for right now? Even despite the circumstance, despite the situation, what do I have to be thankful for right now? It is very difficult for anger and gratitude to coexist. It's very difficult for fear and gratitude to coexist, for frustration and gratitude, depression and gratitude, sadness and gratitude. It's very difficult for those things to coexist. So in that moment, when you're dealing with a circumstance or situation that is a challenge to you, stop, pause, and think about all the things you have to be considerate of or thankful for. Consider all our options. What is happening right now? What's challenging me right now? As a result of this challenge, what can I be learning right now? How can I be growing right now? What am I thankful for right now? You start working those questions into a self-reflective process, it will help you adapt to challenging circumstances and situations. And then you can look at everything that happens to you or happens around you as an opportunity to make this great.